Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Shiki. I'm finally back with another vlog. Kind of. As you can see, I've moved towards a new format where basically I will be showing gameplay, such as this Overwatch gameplay right now, and just, talking to you about different shit, my opinions, etc. I've decided to kind of move on to this format because I thought the other format of me just sitting in front of a camera and y'all looking at my UGG mug for like fucking 10 to 15 minutes was pretty fucking boring. It probably wasn't entertaining as much to y'all, so hopefully this will be better, because who doesn't like watching Overwatch, right? So yeah, this is a new format. You can leave your comments of your opinions down below, and of course I'll take those into consideration. So what have I been up to? Really, it's been the summertime, so I've just been working since I don't have university classes over the summer, thank God. I've just been kind of relaxing, working on some music, and just doing some chilling, just trying to take it easy, recoup a little bit mentally before I go into my last semester of university. So that's good. So I'm very much so looking forward to getting into my career. So I'm very psyched about that. Basically, I've been recording some music, a lot of really collab verses with other people for their respective projects and for their channel. So I don't know when those are coming, but as far as music I'm making for my channels, it's one song I recorded a couple months ago at the beginning of the summer that I just have been holding on to, because I really feel like I oversaturate, SoundCloud and YouTube too much, my channels too much at time with too much of my music straight, to the point where I don't want to shove too much of this music in y'all ears, because, I don't know, it can get annoying. And eventually something gets overlooked, I feel. Like, other people, like for example, like Hence I Do, when he drops music, he'll drop song like maybe once every like a month or two, or he might just do 2 songs in a month or some shit. Meanwhile, I'm dropping like fucking 5 or 6, and I'm like, fuck, I'm dropping too much music, So I'm trying to get better at holding on to more of it, so maybe it's more special when I release a song. So I don't know. I might drop one before I even drop this vlog. If I don't, just know one is coming soon. This one's already done. Another one, I'm waiting for another verse from a guy. Another song has like 4 or 5 people on it. I think it's like 5 people on it. I've gotten 2 of the verses. I need the other 3. But yeah, so that's really what I've been doing. I've been working on music. It's been a lot of random stuff. It's not really been for a project. I've already dropped 2 projects this year. If I do drop another project this year, which, who am I kidding? I probably fucking will. It'll be a second, because I dropped the Gambino Experience in February, then A Subtle Hollow Sadness was a random drop in April, I want to say. Yeah, I think that was in April. And I really appreciate the feedback on that. I wrote and recorded the majority of that in one weekend when I was just feeling super down, and I just need to get all this shit, all these misanthropic feelings and shit out of my system, and I really appreciate the feedback. And speaking of appreciation of feedback, I really appreciate the feedback on the last song I dropped, Melanin Matters. I know race and social and political issues can be very acidic and cause a very caustic situation, but I really appreciate everyone being respectful of different people's opinions. We all ain't gotta agree, but I think most of any decent person can agree what happened, regardless of who fault you think it is. Those are travesties that people are getting gunned down and killed in the streets. So I really appreciate everyone being respectful in the comment section on both SoundCloud and YouTube. I really appreciate everything, and it was very heartwarming. It restored some faith in humanity for me. I'm not even gonna fucking lie, because when I made that song, I was just thinking like, wow, I wasn't gonna really make anything, and I don't know, everything was going to really weighing on my mind and my soul a lot, and I was just like, I have to rap. And I was listening to that Killing Spree beat a lot previously, and I had totally different things in mind for it, but I never really started writing. And then, the stuff happened during the week, and I was like, wow. And then that sample really spoke to me, and I just went in. Anyway, I'm not trying to get on the fucking soapbox. I appreciate you all for the good feedback for that song. Now, I guess another thing I was going to hit up on this thing was basically some few questions I've gotten anonymously from people, just that I can remember, just period, since I've been doing music. But it will be really, really fucking helpful if you guys left comments down in the comment section of future questions you want me to answer in future vlogs. I don't have a million things in my head. I'm not the most creative person, even though I make music, right? I'm not the most creative person. That's fucking stupid. But I'm really not when it comes to thinking of questions. So you guys ask the fuck away in the comment section, and I will promise I will get to them in different future vlogs. It might not all be the same vlog, depending on how many questions, but I'm gonna get to them, and it'll really help me make more content and answer more questions, which could be very entertaining for you all. So please do that. But basically, some of the questions I've gotten is, what does TMNS stand for? Which is a very funny question. For those of you that have been following me since I first started being semi-serious about music, basically like 4 years ago, you probably do know. But for other people who are newer, even if you were from at least a couple years ago, you still might not know. But basically, TMNS stands for the Missing Nin Squad. It's the name of the rap group that I made with my friend Quasi. So it was just me and him at first. We would just rap after school, freestyle, before I had a mic or any shit. And that was just the name we thought of. And then eventually Malcolm Rashad got involved, Justice, and most recently Vespa and Kid. So those are all the people who are in the group. Technically Cloud9 is involved too, but he's always away. But he's always an honorary member. And our resident super cheating producer who doesn't like making beats that often, or no, he makes the shits on the beats. He never wants to do shit with the beats, but I'll rant about that at another time. He's also part of it too, Cloud9 is. You probably heard him on the Senpai Cypher. He killed his verse. So yeah, it stands for the Missing Nin Squad. Now I know you're probably thinking, y'all are a group. Y'all never really do songs together. This is kind of true and it's kind of not true. Over the years, back in the day, I used to do a lot of songs with Malcolm. I've done some songs with Quasi, but he's not as active with the music because he's busy with other endeavors. And, I've done a few songs with the other people, but as of recently, we haven't all done a song together in a while. And it's reasons for that. Majority of the reasons is everyone's off doing their own thing, their own projects. It's kind of hard for everybody to kind of come together on one song. But I guess the biggest reason is probably basically because of me and my music. It's pretty weird, and the cis kind thing, they aren't really down with that. So, which I totally understand. It's very understandable. But because of that, our music just doesn't meld like that. So it just turns out we don't do as many songs together. Now, you'll probably still see me do a lot of songs with Vespa and Kid, and that's because, they my brothers. They don't give a fuck, They're down with the whole movement, the wave. They don't care. So we do a lot of songs together, and those songs are really enjoyable. So as far as me doing songs with Missing Nin members, 9 times out of 10 is going to be with Vespa and Kid. Might be other songs with other people in the future. I can't guarantee. Will we all be on another big song together in the future? I don't know. Time will tell. It's possible. But right now, I don't think we have any certain plans for that. But that's what TMNS stands for, the Missing Nin Squad. So now you know. Next, another question I get is, how do you get better at rapping? Which is a very broad question. But whenever I receive it, really all I tell people, I just message them back and I be like, you gotta be really passionate about it. And I say you gotta be really passionate about it is because it takes a crap ton of practice. If you want to get better, it doesn't happen overnight. I know it's the same cliche shit you hear about everything, but it rings true. You gotta really practice, be passionate about it, and you gotta be willing to take some criticism, from people. As long as it's not demeaning criticism. If it's constructive criticism, don't be adverse to it. I've heard a million people say, oh, I can't understand your verse because shit was mixed poorly. It was. And that got me to work on it. Now I'm better at mixing. I'm better at all these things. But it all comes from the core component of you really enjoying what you're doing. Because it's going to take time if you want to be legitimately good at it. I don't even think I'm all that fucking good at music or engineering yet. I'm glad you all think so, but I think I have a lot of improvement to do. But, it all comes from practice. So just practice at it and really like and enjoy what you do. Another question I get is, how do you come up with what you rap about? It's not as broad, but I guess it's a harder to answer question. But I guess the most simplistic way is, it's whatever's on my mind. Whatever's in my stupid, fucked up mind at the time is what I utter out of my mouth or write down. As you guys know, follow my music, it's a convoluted mess and combination of real life experiences, fantasy-like situations, and other things like, oh man, I'm just really fucking done with the world right now. misanthropic thoughts, feeling depressed, whatever. And all that kind of coalesces into making my discography. That's the simplest way, which still sounds really convoluted, but it really is not. I'm not trying to make myself sound all that in-depth or all that fucking complex. The point is, I just make whatever I think about, and it just turns out it comes out to make the type of music you guys like, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I've been ranting to you guys for like over 10 minutes by now, but I just want to reiterate, I already said in my announcement video, I really appreciate like all the fucking support I've gotten. It still amazes me that I have 3 million plays and over 10k followers. Like, it's fucking nuts, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, once again, leave comments in the comment section of future questions you want me to tackle in future vlogs, and I'll definitely get to them, if not in the next vlog, in the future ones, because there'll be more in the future. I don't want to guarantee to y'all a certain time frame of how often I will release these, but I'll try to shoot for bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks. If not, at least once a month, I know, but I'll try to do bi-weekly, or if I'm really on my shit, it might be once a week, but don't hold me to that shit at all. Thanks, you guys, and until next time, peace out. Team Mother. Yeah.